As a Christian, there's nothing surprising here in what I'm about to share with you, at least on the surface and initially. The Bible commands us to be not like the hypocrites when we are in prayer. And what do we look out for? Well, Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 6, verse 5, he says, "And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full." This is about prayer. And one of the very basic things about prayer is that for a human being, as an example, it's assumed that all human beings just naturally breathe. That's part of their being, and we cannot do without it. We cannot survive without breathing. And there's a direct parallel here with prayer. For a Christian, one can just not get through life without praying. Praying is to be a frequent occurrence for Christians, and this is because it's just natural for us. It's as natural as breathing. Some of us breathe heavier and pant more than others do when it comes to breathing. When it comes to prayer, Christians pray in varying degrees, but all of us should be naturally praying, will be naturally praying as Christians. The Pharisees were guilty of hypocrisy here, and two things that Jesus draws our attention to. Number one is wanting attention. Standing up in the synagogue, we would say in our circumstance, standing up in church and letting people know that they are real prayer warriors. They know how to pray. And they would pray and give eloquent prayers so that people would talk about them and say, oh, what wonderful people they are when they pray. It's their ego, and the praise that they get, well, that's all of the reward that they get for the prayers. Remember, when you are praying, this is not about the getting praise from other men and women. Prayer is also not about magic incantations, but rather prayer is about more likely, more frequently, more effectively, just one-on-one between you and God, usually in private, and it's not vain repetition of saying the same prayer over and over and over and over and over again so that you can talk God into it. No, rather it's a conversation that you are having with God. You and Him, one-on-one, from the heart, and you do it regularly, just like you breathe. Amen? Amen.